Now at 9, authorities investigate whether fireworks were the cause of a Carthage house fire. Plus, the Missouri Highway Patrol investigates a pair of drowning deaths over the holiday and the struggle to find lost dogs that run away because of fireworks.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Dow Quigg. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is investigating a couple of 4th of July drowning deaths. Patrol says a 6-year-old boy drowned yesterday at Lake of the Ozarks. Officials say he was not wearing a life jacket when he jumped into the water, went under, and did not resurface. Neil Butler has a house not far from where the drowning happened, and he says he has kids on his dock, but with a rule. He requires life jackets. And in Clay County, authorities say 22-year-old Carlos Antonio of St. Joseph drowned at Little Platte Swim Beach in Smithville Lake. Authorities say Carlos drowned after walking off a ledge in the water while swimming and did not resurface. Missouri Highway Patrol says during the entire 4-day-plus holiday weekend, they reported 8 traffic fatalities and 4 drownings in the state. That's up from last year's 3-day-plus holiday weekend when the Highway Patrol reported 6 traffic fatalities and 1 drowning in Missouri. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for a first look at the weather.
Well, we did get some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms out there late last night into the morning hours, and then really just a lot of clouds for us today. Look at this. Nice shot. Sun has just set. 84 was our high today, so below our normal high just due to those clouds kind of sticking around all day long. But we look pretty good now, clearing out a bit. Any showers that we had earlier today, those are gone. We are tracking these guys out across eastern Colorado, a long ways away, but they are going to try to get into at least part of the area by the time we get into late tonight, also into the morning hours tomorrow. Pretty comfortable, mid-70s out there right now. As we go through the overnight hours, we drop back to about 68. Scattered morning thunderstorms, so we're going to be talking about that, plus chances. Stick around all the way into the weekend. I'll have those details here in a bit.
See you soon. Firefighters investigate whether fireworks might have caused a house fire in Carthage. Yesterday, firefighters responded to the Breckenwood neighborhood shortly after 1 p.m. The family had already made it out safely. No one was injured. Carthage Fire Chief Ryan Huntley says spent fireworks have been placed in a trash can next to the house. He says that area is where the fire started, but it's not yet clear if the fireworks caused that fire. Some area animal shelters have been dealing with multiple calls today reporting missing and found dogs after the holiday. Talked about it last week. According to dog specialists, more pets go missing around the 4th of July than at any other time of year because of the sounds of those fireworks. But in the 4-state area, another challenge comes with it. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has that story.
This is all it took for Jax to run away and get lost. Only after 2 days, the 11-year-old corgi was spotted by a neighbor, but not from the lack of looking.
Just nonstop kept looking. We didn't sleep because he was just so important to us. We continuously drove around. We went house to house, knocked on doors, and asked everybody, have you seen him? And gave him a description. Me and my boss made flyers yesterday also, and I went around and put that on the fireworks stands, the gas stations. I even handed some out just so people knew what he looked like and had my contact info.
We drove every street in Girard. We checked the fairgrounds. We checked everywhere that we could find and hollered for him to see if we could find him. We didn't see him at all.
Jax is far from alone. Local human societies have been dealing with multiple calls reporting missing and found dogs after the holiday. But some 4-state area shelters are facing another challenge. SEK Humane Society in Pittsburgh and Miami Animal Shelter, for example, can't even take in dogs now because they are at full capacity. SEK Animal Advocates in Arma shares a similar concern.
Our amount of work definitely increases. Like currently all of our fosters are full, but this last couple weeks have been pretty busy.
Susan encourages using social media and printing flyers to spread the word about lost and found pets, especially in a busy time of the year. That will help other people have the same happiness Jack's honor had this morning.
I immediately just fell to the floor and started hugging him, and it was just, I was so relieved. I started crying because it was just, he means so much to us. I can't stress that enough.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
And because the fireworks continue to go for multiple days, a lost pet could end up far from home, so experts suggest looking in surrounding communities. The Joplin Police Department has an update on their search for a burglary suspect who was arrested, then released, and is now missing. Police arrested 33-year-old Jeremy Blevins on June 28th, but he was released from jail before a warrant could be obtained. Authorities say he had broken into the Alliance building in Joplin on June 22nd. They believe Blevins stole $730 worth of items and damaged plumbing, causing another $1,500 worth of damage. They've charged him with second-degree burglary and first-degree property damage. KOAM Telephone Cooperative is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of a vandalism and theft suspect. Police say thieves or a thief is targeting grounding copper, but they're also cutting fiber, which poses a risk to 911 services. Although the copper thefts yield only a few $100s, the damage caused by cutting that fiber is much more significant.
We did create a system on the back side of ours so we can tell right when services are dropped, and those services, once they drop, we will then contact the law, and hopefully within a short amount of time they will be responding to those locations.
The most recent theft happened west of Neck City, Missouri, resulting in around $30,000 worth of damage. KOAM has reached out to salvage yards with no luck so far in spotting that copper. A federal judge has severely limited Biden officials with their dealings with social media companies in a sweeping ruling that's a huge win for free speech advocates and those who say their content is being unfairly squelched by the federal government. Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel explains from Washington.
A federal judge setting off a different kind of 4th of July fireworks Tuesday, accusing the Biden administration of censoring free speech, blocking several officials and government agencies from contacting social media companies.
The amount of information and the discovery that we were able to obtain through this particular case should concern all Americans, irrespective of their political ideology, their party affiliation.
The ban stems from a lawsuit brought by the attorneys general of Louisiana and Missouri, accusing the White House of trying to influence social media posts on platforms like Facebook and Twitter. The Republican AGs claimed the administration was violating the First Amendment, working with tech companies to flag and remove conservative posts about topics ranging from COVID-19 to election interference.
The government shouldn't have any role in deciding what we should or shouldn't be talking about. And it's a scary world when bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. decide what isn't true.
The administration claims it was trying to tamp down what it says was harmful disinformation.
Our view remains that social media platforms have a critical responsibility to take action or to take account of the effects of their platforms are having to the American people.
Advocates of free speech cheered the decision.
The Constitution says the government cannot come in and impinge your free speech, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
The DOJ is currently reviewing the case. For now, the judge is allowing government officials to flag posts to prevent criminal conduct or national security threats. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Coming up, the impact of limited food access.
Big cities and small towns are suffering from something called a grocery gap, and it's affecting how long Americans live. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
We all know eating nutritious foods can lead to a healthier, maybe even longer life. And while some take grocery stores for granted, a sizable population say there is no easy access for them to good nutrition. They live in so-called food deserts. That can have a dramatic impact on the health and well-being of millions. Fox's Carolyn Shively has more from Washington on what's called the grocery gap and what advocates are doing to fill it.
It's true. An apple a day can keep the doctor away and even extend your lifetime. New data from the American Cancer Society says simply having access to healthy foods can mean a longer life. But without it,
what we found was that the life expectancy was shortest in the so-called food deserts.
The average life expectancy for someone in a low-income area where grocery stores are few and far between is about 76 years, compared to 80 years for someone in a high-income area.
Neighborhoods with the low healthy food accessibility were predominantly concentrated in the southeast and in the west.
Metropolitan areas deal with food deserts too, including parts of Washington, D.C.
For there to be about 100,000 residents and only 4 grocery stores between those 2 wards compared to one single ward having upwards of 15 grocery stores, that's a huge disparity.
There are 73,000 people in D.C.'s Ward 8, but only one full-fledged grocery store.
You gotta go to like a convenience store or 7-Eleven to get your stuff, and that ain't really too healthy.
Advocates say governments need to do more for this generation.
They need to get more active in their communities.
And the next.
Making sure that they have access to healthy and fresh, nutritious food. It improves their focus, their test-taking skills, their attention span.
In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Contrary to what a lot of people believe, people with dementia appear to be able to continue to learn new things. Researchers in Sweden gave 10 dementia patients a computer tablet without any instructions, and despite suffering from severe memory decline, after 4 to 6 weeks, some of the patients learned to use the tablet more independently. While more research is needed, the doctoral thesis indicates the body seemingly continues to remember movements required even if the ability to talk about it has been lost. Staying physically active leads to better quality of life for older adults. That's according to researchers at the University of Cambridge, who studied some 1,400 participants aged 60 and above. They found that even spending 15 minutes a day less engaged when older can lower the quality of life, leading to increased risk of hospitalization and early death. Health officials recommend any physical activity for older adults that breaks up long stretches of sitting, from a brisk 20-minute walk to gardening to even dancing. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, a Joplin High School softball standout announces she's staying in the 4 states to continue her career in college.
Well, definitely turned out to be a cooler day for us today. We had scattered showers, some thunderstorms across the region last night into the morning hours, and then just really clouds sticking around most of the day, and that's what kept our temperatures down. Nice shot right now outside. Here's Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but still we have a few clouds out there, but overall it looks pretty good. Rain wasn't that heavy, and we need it. The batch of rain that dropped in last night, some of you guys got some heavy amounts of rain, but as it progressed south and east, it kind of fell apart. So only 1/10 of an inch in Joplin. We're still over 9 inches below where we should be for this time of the year. All right, fairly comfortable, mid-70s across the region. Looks good. Look at this, nice shot of our sunset. 76, northerly winds at about 5. Our humidity is sitting at about 71%. Into the morning, we're going to see some scattered, it's not widespread, but scattered showers and thunderstorms once again during the morning hours. Overnight low right around 68. We do still have some clouds kind of streaming through, but all those scattered showers we had earlier, those are gone. So we are dry as of now, but we are tracking some thunderstorms way out west. These are eastern Colorado down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. This cluster is going to move east and then dive into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So it's only really going to affect about 30 or 40% of us. This is due to our area of high pressure. So the upper level winds, they turn southeast, and that's where the storms decide to go. So that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. All right, here's 3 a.m. Scattered thunderstorms picking up far western counties. As we continue into the morning, that complex drops into northeastern Oklahoma, but really north of Joplin, you mainly stay dry. So this kind of skirts our southern counties. Here's 11 a.m. in the morning, and then very similar to what we had today. Just a lot of clouds, temperatures into lower 80s for afternoon highs. Tomorrow night, we're gonna do it again. Another batch of thunderstorms out to the west is gonna drop southeast, kind of skirt by the area. So our southern counties, again, will have the better shot to pick up showers and thunderstorms into Friday morning. a few isolated storms Friday afternoon, and then we do it again. We have another batch, hopefully will affect everyone Friday night into Saturday morning. So rainfall potential over the next few days, heaviest by far is going to be in our southern counties. We'll see where that next batch tracks as we head into the weekend, but at least we have the potential for a lot of areas to pick up 1 or 2 inches of rain as we go through the next few days. All right, Dave, playing it for you. 69 to start, 79 by 4. High temp right around 83, which is below normal for this time of the year. 84 on Friday, morning thunderstorms. 84 Saturday, morning thunderstorms. Morning thunderstorms again on Sunday. If we take those 4 days, hopefully everybody gets some decent rain.
At least a bit. Yeah, we all need some for sure.
We do.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, getting home safely.
After a record-breaking travel weekend, severe storms are threatening to impact some folks' flights home. I'm Jonathan Seri in Atlanta. I'll have details coming up.
Travelers across the U.S. are seeing some relief from days of flight disruptions. The Federal Aviation Administration expected some 50,000 flights to take off today. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Seri has more.
Gusty winds and hail are threatening to upend travel plans for millions of people flying home after the July 4th holiday. Forecasters expect strong thunderstorms to pummel much of the Midwest and plains through Friday. Some travelers, though, say things are running smoothly so far.
Pretty good. I'm excited. We're excited to go to Vegas.
According to tracking service FlightAware, more than 1,800 flights were delayed or canceled by early afternoon on Wednesday. At Buffalo Niagara International Airport, multiple flights were temporarily paused due to a widespread power outage. The disruptions, though, are an improvement from recent days when bad weather and staffing shortages made for a not-so-festive start to the holiday weekend.
Had to wait in this line for over 2 hours just so I could get rebooked until to come back again today.
And with the travel industry still rebounding from the pandemic, experts warn delays could continue. They are urging folks to be proactive when booking flights this summer.
Take the earliest flights in the day, because if they're delayed or canceled, you have the best chance of getting out that particular day. Have travel insurance, because the airlines are not necessarily liable to give you compensation if you're delayed.
According to the TSA, more than 12 million travelers passed through U.S. airports over the course of the long holiday weekend. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
A marathon negotiating session between UPS and the Teamsters Union ended early today without a deal to avoid a strike. The main issue is pay, and both sides accuse the other of walking away from the table. The clock is ticking. The current contract expires at the end of the month, which means 340,000 UPS workers could go on strike August 1st. More social media platforms are springing up to rival Twitter. Meta Platforms announced its Twitter-like app Threads is set to debut tomorrow. Threads will be launched under Instagram in order to quickly grow the new app's community. Users will also be able to keep their Instagram names on Threads. Up next, we're going to learn why chefs in Bolivia came together to create this giant batch of pork soup. Nearly 4,000 people in Bolivia chowed down on what's claimed to be the world's largest pork soup. The dish, known as fricassee, was made up of more than 1,000 pounds of pork, 120 pounds of yellow chili peppers, and 22 pounds of red chili peppers. The event took place ahead of the celebrations of the country's 214th anniversary of revolution. It's also an attempt to make it into the Guinness World Records book as the world's largest pork soup. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Why one of the biggest utility providers in Kansas is asking the state to raise its electric rates. Plus, several area organizations are hosting summer camps. We're going to check out some of them. One of the largest utility providers in Kansas wants to raise electric rates. If approved, more than 1 million Evergy customers in cities like Pittsburgh, Parsons, Topeka, and Wichita could see their bills increase by nearly $15 per month. Reporter Alex Jurgens is looking into the reasons behind the request and how you can provide feedback before a decision is made.
Everything just keeps getting
higher and higher.
Linda Dalton has heard from her neighbors that have experienced their gas bills increase.
I want to know exactly how much electricity we use each month, and the most recent ones have been about $75.
So anytime there's talk of electric rates going up, Linda feels a price hike could be hard.
I feel worse about those elderly seniors that really are on a fixed income, and another $15 added to their electric bill is going to be a lot for them.
Monday, Evergy customers received this notification about a proposal to raise rates. Evergy's latest proposal would cost the average household an extra $14 to $15 per month. David Nickel with the Citizens Utility Ratepayer Board says the hike is related to the Westar Energy and KC Power and Light merger from 5 years ago.
We are always concerned as advocates for residential and small commercial ratepayers.
Nickel says that CURB aims to keep rates low despite this hike.
We've got a number of experts that we've hired in this case, and we're in the process of evaluating this rate increase from stem to stern.
The state has to approve the increase first. The Kansas Corporation Commission will hold 3 public hearings around Kansas this month, though none of those are going to be in our viewing area. You can also submit your feedback about the proposal through the KCC website.
That's a magnifying.
Some kids in Joplin today got their hands dirty, becoming more in touch with nature. Wildcat Glades Nature Group hosted their first Wildcat Camp. Kids had the chance to learn about wildlife, plants, and habitats at Wildcat Park through hands-on activities. They also learned about outdoor skills and how to enjoy the outdoors safely and responsibly. To some, nature is more exciting than playing with technology.
It's time to put our cell phones down and get away from our computers and spend some time in the out of doors and just get to know the world around us. Kids don't learn to take care of things unless they get to experience it or have a part of it, and that's what we hope to give them, some experiences and some taking part in that during this week.
Wildcat Glades Nature Group hopes to make this an annual camp. Welcome to Fantasy Camp, where kids are able to create the universe of their wildest dreams. Joplin Spiva Center for the Arts is holding various camps throughout the summer, and they include this Fantasy Camp. Kids got to build and create things like blueprints, floor plans, and castles.
I like creation. I like working together with everyone to build something new that no one can create. That's cool. I like building stuff.
Fantasy Camp runs through Friday. Spiva Center for the Arts also hosted a Clay Camp. Clay Camp began today, runs through Friday for children 8 through 11 years old. Children got to make their own pottery and draw their own special designs on the pottery. They also learned how to get their hands dirty by using a clay wheel and how to sculpt their pottery into objects.
I took out there at Missouri Southern when they offered it. My neighbor across the street invited me. She was one of the teachers. And when I was in college, I was invited to help teach these classes way back when. And now I'm giving back to my community.
The camp costs $100 per child. And if you're looking for a way to relax your mind, well, the Spiva Center for the Arts has you covered there too. It's hosting mindful meditation classes. Meditation helps you control your breathing and heart rate while keeping you relaxed. Typically, the class is 30 minutes long, and you relax by listening to the instructor preach calming words and affirmations.
Meditation is a way to center oneself, to just let go of all the stress and concerns of the day so that you can become focused and present, which is really the purpose of the offerings of our KOAM experience.
The next mindful meditation will be in August. A bit later, getting a better night's sleep.
If noise is keeping you up at night, new noise-canceling technology inspired by bugs could solve your problems. I'm Marianne Rafferty. Details coming up.
Well, of course, a cooler day for us today. Temperatures highs only into the lower 80s. We had the clouds really sticking around a good chunk of the day, but you can see most of us right now comfortable sitting into the mid 70s, and we'll drop back into the 60s a little bit later on tonight. All right, we had a nice shot out of the sunset. Now it's almost dark. Currently outside 76, northerly winds at about 3. Humidity is at 71%. Through the night, we get some scattered thunderstorms in here. Not for everyone. Better shot on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, and we drop back to about 68 for an overnight low. All right, we look good right now. We had some scattered showers out there earlier, but most of us are dry. This is all ground clutter being picked up on the radar, but we are tracking these guys out across eastern Colorado, down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Now, they're a long ways away, but they're going to track east, and then they're going to take a turn toward the southeast as they work toward us, and again, kind of fall apart a little bit. But if you look at the upper level flow, here's high pressure. Look at the winds. They move east, drop into eastern Oklahoma. So that's exactly what those storms are going to do for us a little bit later on tonight. All right, let's step through time. We're going to stop at 3 o'clock in the morning. Scattered thunderstorms, far western counties. As we continue into the morning hours, you can see our cluster kind of works northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So really, if you live north of Pittsburgh to Lamar, your chances for rain are pretty slim for tomorrow morning. We have scattered showers lasting through the morning hours, and then tomorrow afternoon, very similar to what we really got today. A lot of clouds, 82 in Nevada, 82 in Miami, Chanute, up to about 81 degrees. Tomorrow night, another cluster of thunderstorms works toward us. Here's Friday morning. But again, this kind of falls apart as it pushes in. So we'll get scattered showers and a few thunderstorms as we go into Friday morning. And then in the afternoon, once again, highs into the lower 80s, a few scattered showers. Bigger complex that should go farther north presses in Friday night into Saturday morning. And it's going to be this complex that gives us the best shot for widespread rain across the region, which we all want it. We are definitely needing the rain. So the rain over the next couple days, mainly in our southern counties, but once we get toward the weekend, everybody's got a shot to pick up half inch, maybe isolated 2-inch amounts, which would be great. Starting at 69 tomorrow, 79 by 4. High temp right around 83 degrees. Thunderstorm chances last into the weekend, so we start Saturday with thunderstorms, and then most likely Sunday morning, we get another complex that drives through. So at least we have the chances as we go through the next several days. 83 tomorrow, 84 on Friday, 84 Saturday. Sunday, 83. We dry out Monday, and then we heat up into the 90s next week.
Well, let's hope we get some rain for everybody.
Yeah, we need the rain.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, the Big 12 announces their all-conference preseason football team. Plus, a local high school softball standout announces her commitment. Brock Baldridge is going to break it all down for us next in sports. We've all been there before. You're either trying to focus on work or fall asleep, and loud noises are keeping you distracted or awake. But hope could be on the horizon, with scientists looking to create a new noise-canceling technology that resembles wallpaper, making it thinner than standard soundproofing devices. Fox News correspondent Marian Rafferty takes a closer look at why moths are the inspiration behind the invention.
Noise is all around us, from the blasts of recent 4th of July fireworks to emergency vehicle sirens and more. But all the noise is adding up. According to the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, noise pollution can cause insomnia, difficulty thinking, and chronic health problems like heart disease. But researchers at the University of Bristol in England are studying an evolutionary trait found in some moths to try and create new noise-canceling technology they're calling sonic wallpaper.
Moths have on their wings a fantastic sound absorber that has acoustic properties that outperforms our current architectural sound absorbers.
In the wild, bats emit high-frequency sound waves to locate prey. When the waves hit an object, they bounce back to the bat, letting them know where they can find a potential meal. To avoid becoming dinner, scientists say silk moths developed a special coating on their wings.
The sound hits the insect, and rather than being reflected back to the bat, it is absorbed on the moth, and that makes it largely disappear from the bat sonar.
Using a state-of-the-art particle accelerator, researchers are able to study the structures on the moth wings in fine detail.
We are working hard to translate this evolved sound absorber with its fantastic abilities into something that we can use at our frequency range.
Work continues on the sonic wallpaper prototypes. The team hopes to have their product hit the market in 1 to 2 years. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Coming up, some veterans celebrated our nation's Independence Day by swimming with sharks. We're going to check out what's called the Shark Dive for Freedom.
Hard to believe, but we're halfway through the Mink League season. The Nevada Griffins held their own this year, but as of recently, Nevada has lost 3 straight games, all of those losses coming by way of the Joplin Outlaws. So tonight, Nevada is switching it up a little bit. They pay a visit to Des Moines for the first time this season. In game 1 of their doubleheader, Griffins fall to the Des Moines Peak Prospects 3-2. Griffins will look to split the doubleheader. We've got a late game number 2 just getting underway in Des Moines. The Northeastern Oklahoma A&M softball program hinted that they had a big commitment earlier in the week. And during the middle of the 4th of July festivities, Joplin High School's Jill McDaniel announced on her Twitter that she will commit to Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. Jill McDaniel out of Joplin High School is the second-team All-District pitcher for the Joplin Eagles in the 2022 season. As a senior, McDaniel led the team in strikeouts as a starting pitcher for the Eagles. McDaniel originally committed to Highland Community College, but reopened her recruitment in late June. Right now, McDaniel is expected to be on the Lady Norse softball team this fall. The Big 12 Conference released their preseason All-Big 12 football team, and many of the names on the list are very familiar with Big 12 fans from all around the 4 states. Let's start with the offense. First up, Kansas Jayhawks quarterback Jalen Daniels was selected as All-Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, along with his QB selection as well. Then the rest of the list goes to running back Devin Neal from KU, fullback Ben Sinnott out of K-State, wide receiver Brandon Presley out of Oklahoma State, and then offensive lineman Mike Nowitzki from Kansas and Cooper Beebe from K-State. And rounding out the list on the offensive side, K-State's Phillip Brooks, who made the list as a kick returner and punt returner. Now we go to the defensive side of the list. Defensive lineman Ethan Downs out of Oklahoma, who's shockingly the only Sooner on that list. Then linebacker Colin Oliver out of Oklahoma State, defensive backs Kobe Brown out of KU and Kobe Savage out of K-State, and Kendall Daniels out of Oklahoma State. So there's your list. Tomorrow, the Big 12 Conference is expected to release their preseason poll. We'll take a look at that as well tomorrow night at 6. The Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals are both on the road this evening. Each team struggled over the 4th of July, and now with the MLB All-Star break looming, both teams in Missouri are just trying to make it to the end of the weekend. Kansas City Royals in Minnesota tonight, taking on the Twins, trying to avoid being swept, and unfortunately for the Royals, that's exactly what happened. Minnesota's Pablo Lopez pitched a complete game shutout, only giving up 4 hits, 12 strikeouts. Royals get shut out 5-0 tonight. Kansas City will travel to play Cleveland tomorrow night. And then the St. Louis Cardinals are in South Beach tonight, taking on the Miami Marlins. This game went back and forth all night, and it was the Marlins who came out victorious. The walk-off single to beat St. Louis 10-9 tonight. Cardinals will avoid being swept. They take on Miami in their series finale tomorrow night. It's just so rare to see, the Cardinals struggling so bad. They'll try to avoid being swept, and the Royals, we'll see if they can ever get it turned around.
Yeah, the Royals have had a number of bad teams in recent years, but the Cards, they've been in the playoffs for the last several consecutive years. They're not accustomed to this for sure.
No, not for sure.
We'll be right back. Some of the brave souls who fought for our nation got an adventure of a lifetime, the chance to swim with one of the ocean's top predators, sharks. Fox Weather's Brandy Campbell takes us to the coast of Florida for this daring adventure.
We're joining over 20 veterans as they once again jump into the unknown together for the shark dive for freedom.
3 days ago, I had one that kept coming up to me. I think he was as curious about me as I was him.
With bait dropped, these veterans took on another life adventure, swimming among sharks.
Oh, there's a big shark right here. There's 4 of them. There's 4 of them over here.
They swim right up to you. It's nerve-wracking. It's like, you feel like at any time something can happen, but it's also like super calm.
Surrounded for a couple hours, the ocean floor not in sight.
Bull sharks and sandbar sharks.
Oh, wow.
We had almost a dozen of them at one point. Someone said they saw a hammerhead.
Shark Addicts partnered with the Wounded Veterans Relief Fund to celebrate these vets for Independence Day.
A lot of our veterans, they really want to be with other veterans because when you get out of the military, you're kind of on your own.
They raise money to support veteran dental needs, prevent homelessness, and create a community through unique experiences.
Talk shop and talk old memories, and then just getting prepared to swim with sharks, which is, it's kind of a thrill. Like, the only kind of thrill you get would be like going outside the wire or skydiving.
Now they can add this to their list of life experiences and thrills.
I think it appeals to a lot of veterans because you don't go into the military looking for an ordinary day, an ordinary lifestyle.
To be out there with this group of people and people that sacrifice so much for this country, it's amazing. Love it.
And it helps if the weather is nice.
Hey, weather was awesome. The seas were calm. We had great visibility out there, and it couldn't have been more perfect. So thanks to Fox Weather.
All right, now this was the 7th year for this event, one they plan to do year after year. Reporting off the coast of Jupiter, Florida, I'm Brandy Campbell, Fox Weather.
Some brave souls. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of the newest member of an endangered horse species at the San Diego Zoo. Let's make it a great tomorrow.